Wholesaling is way different today.
Big time.
Bigger is not always better. Huh?
I agree. I would much rather have less people in a higher fucking net than more people, more deals in a lower
I
net.
couldn't agree more with you.
Wholesaling gets you in the game. But if you want to play at a big level, then you got to continue to evolve.
Yeah.
But wholesaling taught me all the skills. Marketing, sales, hiring, managing people. The list goes on and on. You just moved your entire family across the country. You sold your wholesaling business, which nobody that I know has successfully done. So walk me through that thought process on why you did it. Obviously, it was for a much bigger and better thing, so talk me through that.
What's going on, y'all? Eric Cline with a unique episode of the Refuse to Lose podcast. You know, we bring out the reels, get rid of the fakes and the phonies. We are in Los Cabos, Mexico, and man, let me tell you, the setting right now that we are sitting here is we're getting tatted up. And I'm with my guy, Nick Perry, that is getting a super special tattoo. His newborn daughter that him and his wife just recently had 30 days ago-ish. He's getting her hand print on his wrist. So, dude, we're just here. Figured we turn the cameras on, do a podcast, and more than likely, not talk about what you think we're going to talk about. Probably not a lot of business, not a lot of sales. We got the ocean behind us, the sun is blazing, and we got our man Paul here from Orlando, Tampa, Florida, that is going to do some dope ass tattoos on us. He does realism tattoos, and as you can see, I got a couple tattoos myself. Nick, what up, dog?
Let's go, man.
Dude.
Listen, I'd say this is probably the most on-brand podcast that you've ever had. Getting tatted on the beach.
Dude, it's so dope,
man, I'm excited to be here. You know, it's been a long fucking journey for both of us, so we can talk about whatever, man. I'm an open book.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I think we start like, dude, what's getting put on your wrist? Like, this is the one thing. I knew him and his wife were getting ready to have their baby, and, you know, for anybody that does not have a kid, you cannot explain the love for a child until you have a child. So, dude, for the last 30 days, like, what's up, man?
Dude, it's been absolutely incredible. So, if you guys don't know, I live here in Mexico. I live in Cancun. So, I was able to have the baby here in Cancun, Mexico, which made my baby a dual citizen. So if you have a baby abroad, it will make you a dual citizen. So she's got a U.S. passport and a Mexican passport. And then it also makes me a dual citizen as well. So her gift to me was giving me dual citizenship, and obviously being born. It completely changed, you know, my life, the way I look at things, my perspective on everything has a whole new, much deeper meaning than it even did before.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And just so everyone understands this, and I don't want to get off the point he was making, for everyone watching, Nick is a very established entrepreneur, businessman. He has a multi-7-figure a year virtual wholesale operation.
Our office is in Austin, but we do deals all over the country.
All over the country. Yep. Millions of dollars a year.
Probably one of the biggest, yes.
Yeah, so just to set the stage, he's been doing this way, way longer than I have from the wholesale industry. So he runs a massive wholesale operation. He does coaching. He helps people build wholesale operations. I think they call him the kingpin of PPC. Getting people to be able to dial in their PPC, which is something that I never learned. But so just so everyone knows, this ain't like just some guy getting a tattoo. For any of my audience that does not know who Nick Perry is. But dude, let's chop it up. And so you're getting your daughter's hand tattooed on your wrist.
I am, man. I'm super excited. You know, my beautiful wife, come over here. She was asking me, she was like, what's like one thing that you love when you look at your daughter? And it's that when I look at her, it's her and me and another human being.
Literally, bro.
And it's a completely new beginning, right? All the bullshit that I went through in my entire life, stops fucking now.
Yeah,
She's gonna have a much better life
Yeah.
than I had, and we're gonna be able to provide, you know, such an amazing future.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about that.
She's what, like a month old?
30 days. Yesterday was her 1 month birthday.
And she did a 5-hour flight to Mexico?
Like a champ.
She did really well. Not a single
Let's
cry.
do it, yeah.
Not one.
Not one.
Me and my wife, like I heard someone explain, like having a child, it's like having a piece of your heart out there walking around. Like for me personally, it was like I grew up, I was a middle child, and not that my family did not love me, right? I was a hellion as a kid.
Same.
Like a hellion.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was hard for them to love me. And they had to love me from a distance at one point in my life where they're like, hey man, we love you, but you aren't allowed around anymore. And man, when I have my kids today, it's like, dude, that love, and I always wanted that, like to feel that love, you know? And when having my kids now, it's like, dude, that fucking love is, you can't even explain it, man. And I'm sure you guys as new parents are like feeling that now.
For sure.
Like when you drive, you might be driving a little different.
Oh, yeah.
Or, you know what I mean?
Yep. I'm a little less reckless than I was before. Left to my own devices, I'm a fucking madman.
Yeah, of course.
So it's good I got her.
He wouldn't agree with that.
My videographer, he's shaking his head behind the camera right now, but
Tell him about the experience we had when she was born.
which part? I mean, it was a whole fucking movie in itself.
I mean, when she cried for the first time, what did you feel?
Well, I almost passed the fuck out. So when she was born, she got a C-section, and I'm sitting there, I'm just, you know, waiting. They're like, okay, it's time for you to stand up and go ahead and film the baby coming out.
I did the same thing.
So I stood up, and I watched my girl just completely split open like fucking Saving Private Ryan.
Guts on the table.
Guts all over the fucking table. And I was not, nobody prepared me for that at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And I stood up, and I got lightheaded. I literally stumbled the fuck back and said, you lay on the fucking floor, motherfucker. They made me lay on the floor.
We were worried about it.
And
Really?
sniff alcohol pads, and I came back to it and heard the baby crying, but it was a surreal experience. It was like God split heaven open. I felt like the whole world was shaking when she was coming out. I don't know if I thought it was just because I was passing out, but she was like, no, I felt it too. It was a surreal experience as she was being born. Like definitely something supernatural, a huge blessing, you know, into our lives.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What's her name?
London.
London.
London Sophia
London Sophia
Yep.
Perry.
Avila. It's 4 names.
London Sophia Avila Perry.
So, London Sophia Perry Avila. So in Latin America, if you guys don't know, it's 4 names
Okay.
down here. So when we went to the consulate, they're like, yeah, it's got to be 4 names.
Really?
I was like, well, we'll just tack your name onto the back. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So you guys live full time in Mexico.
we do. Yeah, by choice.
In
We love
Puerto
it.
Vallarta.
No,
No,
Cancun.
Cancun. Sorry.
Cancun.
So, how long you been living in Cancun?
We lived in Cancun a little over a year.
Yeah.
But we've been in Latin America for over 2 years now. So before this, we lived in Panama City, Panama.
Yep.
Which is a fucking blast. I loved it down
Yep.
there. But Cancun's got a lot more to offer. It's a lot closer than Panama City. And dude, I love Mexico. You know what my favorite part about Mexico is? If you got money in Mexico, you can do whatever you want. I can bribe people in Mexico, and I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Because all right, I'm gonna give you a real story. Yesterday, we're at the airport. We get there probably an hour before our flight and realize the baggage check-in line was an hour fucking long. I said, we're toast.
Yeah.
I go up to the guy in the green vest. I say, hey man, I slipped in a $20 bill. I was like, you think you could help us out? Front of the line, just like that, expedited right through security to the
Money
gate.
goes a long way.
Whatever you want, you get. So it's a wonderful place if you've got money.
They put me on a wheelchair.
Yeah, they wheeled her right through all the way to the gate,
Really?
and that, you know, that's just one example. That's every day in Mexico. You know, we got live-ins, nannies, chefs,
Yeah.
anything you could want for a fraction of the price that you get in the U.S.
And you've been there for what, a year and a half?
Last August, so a little over a year.
Little over a year.
Yep,
And you guys both live there, obviously, right?
we do. Yeah,
That's your only residence is there in.
correct. I know you're trying to get me out to Scottsdale, so
Yeah, that's where this is going.
Yeah.
That's where this next question's going. All right, you've been there for a year. So, but hold on, going back, your Instagram used to say, What was it?
Retired by 33.
Retired by 33.
Correct.
Fucking explain that.
So, I got my CEO sitting right over here, okay?
I was going to intertwine him into this conversation.
Absolutely.
Because I'm looking at him right now.
So, I'll give you the headline news.
Yeah.
Right? So, I started my business in 2014.
Yep.
Broke, busted, and disgusted.
Love it.
I had fucking nothing. I had a Mazda 3, a laptop, and a fucking bag of clothes. And I've got a brand new apartment in Austin. I didn't know a soul. And I was like, I got to make a new life for myself.
Yep.
So I was like, I don't want to work for somebody. I want to figure out something I can do on my own. And I started watching real estate videos and figured it out from there. But 10 years later, here we are sitting on here in Cabo. But fortunately, you know, I had some good people come into my life along the way. My CEO being one of them. And when I was in corporate, he came and worked with me. So I moved to Austin. I worked a corporate job at Indeed.com, banging the phones, Wolf of Wall Street style.
Yeah.
You know, 60 calls a day, 120 minutes, high-ass quotas, big pressure. It was a great learning experience for me because that translated into what I do now. But when I was at that job, Brandon he got a summer internship there, and he interned on my team.
At LinkedIn.
At Indeed.
Or Indeed, sorry.
Correct. And he would look over my shoulder, and he would see me, you know, make a call for Indeed and then click over to my CRM in real estate and close the deal for real estate. And he was more interested in the real estate. So I left and went full time into real estate. And 6 months later, he called me and he was like, hey man, this job, even though I'm making over 6 figures, it's fucking soul crushing. And I don't want to do this shit. And he was like, can we work together? And I was like, I don't really have any positions open, but meet me at Starbucks. He's like, all right, I'll be there. And he came on at the fucking bottom.
And this was what year?
2016, 2017.
Right. That's what? Do the math for me. How long ago was that?
7 years.
7 years ago.
Yep. So 7 years ago, he came on at the bottom, cold calling, taking ringless voicemail calls to his phone, the worst jobs you could have.
Yep.
He never complained, never cried, just fucking worked. As we brought new people on, he took the reins and helping train them up. Took seniority over, you know, the systems, and he just rose the ranks. While everybody else came in and they fell away, he continued to rise, and you know, eventually he got promoted from a team lead to a COO. So he oversaw my acquisitions and dispositions for 3 years. And after that 3-year mark, there was only one more position to go, and that was to take over the CEO spot. So I was still acting CEO. He stepped into the CEO role in 2021 and effectively removed me from the business.
Literally. It could run without you.
Fired me. Kicked my ass out of the office and sent me to move somewhere else. So I moved to Miami. Spent a couple years in Miami. And he ran the show. You know, I would go back, I'm always there, but he needed me less and less. And so then it was basically, that was a fucking crisis in itself, was being retired by 33.
Kind of felt lost?
Yeah, I mean, that was my baby.
Of course.
It was like your baby went off to college and you're the empty nester now and you don't know what the fuck to do. Mm-hmm. So I was, you know, going to the gym twice a day, going out to fancy dinners every night in Miami, which sounds nice, but men need purpose.
Yeah, that gets old, dude.
As a man, you got to have a big dream and a big goal that you're working towards, or you're fucking miserable.
Yep, couldn't agree more with you, dude.
So that's, you know, when I was like, okay, I just need to adjust. I've worked I achieved my dream.
Yeah.
But now it's time to dream bigger.
Of course. Dude, I look at, like, for me personally, I would be lost. Literally, I feel like I would be lost if I didn't have an office to go into every single day. And that's just who I am. Like, some people want to build a business to where they can step out of it. I've just never even had that. Like, my last company, I could have stepped out of it. I truly could have. It ran without me. But dude, like, I was still the first one there, and a lot of times the last one to leave. Mm-hmm. Like, I just need that. Like, I went from being a fucking dope head, for real, like a crackhead, to just switching it to something else that I love. Like, dude, the building a culture and fucking being around my team, in the trenches with my guys.
What's better than that?
I thrive off that shit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I am not too good today to go and sit right in between my fucking guys and pound the phones with them. Like, I thrive off that shit. And people try and tell me, and some people say, well, dude, you ain't even built a business you can step away from. Like, they talk down on the way I run companies. And I'm sure Brandon being in fucking, you're there, and I'm talking now to fucking Brandon in the corner, but dude, you're right there in the trenches, right? Still, you're getting ready to step out.
He already is. He's got it. He has somebody making the same progression as him.
Right, but
Yeah.
it's taken fucking years to do that.
Fucking years. This is not a get rich quick deal.
No, dude.
We're talking, he was COO for 3 fucking years. Then he got promoted to CEO. He's been CEO for 3 years, and now he's just getting ready to make that switch again to be on the board.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, I just see too many people. Now we're talking some business. I just see too many people. They think starting up a company, and you can let it run for a year or two. You think you got people in place and just step back, and they're wondering why fucking it's a revolving door. Their fucking numbers are like this all the time, and then before they know it, they're literally not even doing deals. Like, being an entrepreneur it's very rewarding, but dude, the shit is not easy.
No.
Huh?
You take your eye off the culture, you take your eye off the ball for
fucked.
1 minute, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're fucked, dude.
You're the only one to blame.
Huh?
You're the only one to blame.
100%. What do you think, getting started, obviously when you got started, wholesaling is way different today.
Big time.
It's way different. You have access to get quicker leads probably. Back then you could do cold calling. Was PPC big back when you started?
I started on PPC.
You did start on PPC.
So I'm going to tell you how I started on PPC. Was
Hey, Paul's fucking
he's
crushing
fucking
this tattoo,
no
y'all.
shit.
Nick's taking it like a fucking champ.
This is
Not
an easy one.
squirming at all. Does it hurt?
Nah.
No?
I mean, you can see I got a few tattoos myself.
And
so
you did that in 3 days straight.
3 days straight.
Jesus Christ.
No, I started PPC in 2014 before really anybody was doing it.
Really?
I found some guy that was crushing it online with fucking PPC.
Yeah.
And he lived in Danbury, Connecticut or something. I did the old outside sales tactic to him. I said, hey, bro, I'm going to be in fucking Danbury next week.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be in fucking Danbury next week. I said, hey, man, let's grab lunch. I'll pay you for coming out to lunch with me.
Yeah.
Knowing, I said, if he says yes, I'm flying my ass to fucking Danbury in the middle of January.
Yep. Middle of fucking winter.
And I'm going to make this guy my fucking coach.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'll be there. I fucking got a flight to JFK. I rented a car. I met him at a pizza shop at 8 o'clock at night. It was snowing like a motherfucker. And I go in there and I meet him. And he wants to drink beer. So I'm drinking beers with him. We end up drinking 5-10 beers. And I was like, well, there's no way I'm driving now. And there's this small town.
Yeah.
No hotels.
Danbury
nothing.
is where my father-in-law was born.
Yeah.
I know Danbury. I've been there.
So I stayed in the car that night and slept. But you know what I did? I made such good rapport with him. He wasn't a coach. But I said, you're going to fucking coach me. Here's $2,000
No
to
shit.
get on some Zoom calls with me. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'll do it.
He was doing PPC in the real estate space?
Correct. He was like the only one doing it.
Really?
It was a very niche thing to find. So I was just resourceful. And that's what it fucking takes
Yes.
in entrepreneurship. Is you see something you want, just fucking go get it by
Get it.
whatever means necessary.
And don't be afraid to pay for that shit.
Never.
Literally, dude.
I don't understand people. It's like, if somebody has something you want, pay them is whatever you need to get the
Collapse time.
results. Collapse time.
Collapse time, dude. Collapse time. You have what? It's called the 7-figure cartel.
Correct.
7-figure cartel. You teach people, I'm assuming, how to get to 7 figures.
Yeah,
Right?
you know, it's hindsight. What I learned in 10 years, collapse that into fucking 6 to 12 months.
Literally collapse decades into days.
Exactly.
Huh?
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it's not easy, but is it hard to do $1 million in this space?
not at all.
It's not
No.
hard, right?
No.
Brandon, do you think it's hard? $1 million in this space?
No.
It's not hard, right?
I mean, consistent for a bit.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
Yeah, got it. So, you can make $1 million doing this. I, for the life of me, can't figure out how people don't get this model. It's hard to build probably what, like we have built. Not a lot of people want to do that, though. There's a lot of fucking headaches
Big time.
that come with a million a year wholesale operation, right?
And it doesn't slow down. The bigger you get, the more headaches they are.
The more problems.
Yep.
Me and Brandon were just talking last night at dinner, and it's like we're your full-time fireman, putting out fires, nonstop, dude. And it's reward. You get the paycheck of it, but it is like, dude. Sometimes bigger is not always better. Huh?
I agree. I would much rather have less people in a higher fucking net than
Yep.
more people, more deals in a lower
I
net.
couldn't agree more with you.
I don't care about
Yeah.
top line. It's all about bottom line.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So you're in living in Cancun, and we are talking about, or you're talking about possibly coming to Arizona.
So I'll put it like this. If you're in finance, you live in New York. If you're in tech, you live in the Silicon Valley. If you're an entrepreneur, Scottsdale, Arizona. That's where a lot of hitters are.
There are.
Millionaires, billionaires.
Yeah.
Everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So you want to be in the fire.
Yeah.
I love Cancun. I live in fucking paradise.
Yeah.
I have a beautiful life.
I literally have seen it. You walk out and literally you're in a resort.
I live in a 5-star resort.
Yeah. It's paradise.
It is. So, for me to leave that, it's because there's a lot more inside of me to give than to be hanging out on the beach.
Yeah. You're what right now? 38, you said?
35.
35.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, you got a nice run. There's still some run in there.
A lot.
Huh?
A lot.
Yeah.
God didn't put us on this earth to be complacent.
So when did you start having that? Because obviously retired by 33, and now I'm ready to fucking go again. Huh? Something's changed.
Absolutely.
Where is that? Because that's what, 5 years.
Correct.
You said you were retired by 33. That was the number, right?
Yep. Now
we're
I'm
38,
35.
Or 35. So
2 years.
Mm-hmm. 2 years. The retired life ain't what you thought it was.
No, I traveled the world. I've been all over the world. I've done all the things that I want to do in terms of, personal.
Yeah.
And I want to be a great man.
Yeah.
I want to be the best version of myself that God created me to be. And if I'm any less than that,
Yeah.
I can't look myself straight in the fucking mirror.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I can't look my wife and my family straight in the mirror.
Yep.
And so, as a man, I want to do much bigger and better. Doing a multi-7-figure wholesaling business, that's nothing. God put us on this earth for much bigger purpose.
100%, man.
Yeah.
And again, nothing against that. Wholesaling is fucking amazing, dude.
Wholesaling is great if you're just starting out.
Yep.
You're broke, like I was.
Yep.
You need a stepping stone to get in the game.
Yep, I agree.
Wholesaling gets you in the game.
Yeah.
But if you want to play at a big level, then you got to continue to evolve.
Yeah.
But wholesaling taught me all the skills: marketing, sales,
all that shit.
hiring, managing people. The list goes on and on.
Yep.
So all those skills translate into any other business that you do.
What do you think your timeline is?
Are we hard selling me on Scottsdale right now?
I'm just wondering, dude. I mean, let's document this shit. I'll replay it here in like a week. Hey, and I'll be honest. This is a selfish. This is a selfish question I'm asking, and I asked Brandon this a few times last night. Dude, like, it's hard to find fucking solid dudes, right? That you can relate with, that you fucking jive with, and we've known each other from a distance for what?
Brood's event, probably 2021, maybe.
So 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years. And dude, every time we get around, it's like I've known you for years. And really, we've only hung out a handful of times.
Yeah.
So like selfishly, I'm like, dude, if fucking Nick, his wife, family, and Brandon are coming to Arizona, I'm like, dude, Arizona just got way better for me. You know what I mean? So like, it's selfish.
It'll be this fall.
Cool.
Yeah. The next time I can slip a trip into Scottsdale.
Yeah.
And get in there and get a place, then.
Yeah.
That'll be it.
We'd love.
Oh, so I'll tell you that my biggest hang up right now is I'm spoiled. I have to get my nanny a visa, which is harder than you think.
She's coming with.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
So
not allowed to. I guess I don't know anything about that.
no, it's very difficult to get Mexicans visas to come to the United States, but we know some people. We got pulling some strings, so
Got it.
we'll have it done in the next few weeks.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, anything you want to chat about?
Right now, man, I want to know about how you were able to transition from wholesaling to where you are right now, because you just moved your entire family across the country.
Yeah.
You sold your wholesaling business, which nobody that I know has successfully done. So walk me through that thought process on why you did it, and obviously it was for a much bigger and better thing. So
Yes.
talk me through that.
Yeah, man. So I got into wholesaling, scrambling as a grown man with a family, wife, kids, bills, responsibilities. I found wholesaling after a massive 2.5-year lawsuit that had me question even being an entrepreneur again. Legitimately, I went from that timeshare exit business that I had to almost a massive life-changing exit to losing it all. And it felt like overnight, but it was 2.5 years. And in 2021, I found at the end of the lawsuit, settled everything. I, as the man, had to figure out how the fuck my family was gonna eat, right? We weren't broke. We settled and still had millions of dollars. But, dude, I didn't have a job, essentially, right? And I knew a guy that knew a guy, and he was like, hey, you would be a perfect fit in this wholesale industry. And once I understood the lead, and it was almost identical to a timeshare owner. Like, we were dealing with distressed timeshare owners, now I'm dealing with distressed homeowners. So in my head, being that close to an exit, the private equity firm was buying us because of the cash flow. They were buying us because of the lead. They could sell them over multiple times. If we're dealing with distressed homeowners, more than likely they come with bad credit or debt, and they could use credit repair. That's was the model I had built, and if they were going to acquire that, I'm like, fuck, I can get them to acquire this business. Mm-hmm. So day one of me coming into this industry, my mindset was I'm going to build a business, scale it, and sell it. That was the only reason I got into wholesaling. I didn't get in to be a fucking landlord, flip homes, like none of that was in the cards. We just so happened to start flipping, started being a landlord, which I found out I didn't like fucking being a landlord at all. Like, dude, I think in 1 year we bought 8, 9, 10 properties, and I was like, fuck this, dude. Like, it just wasn't sexy to me. So we sold all of our rental properties. My first 12 months, 2.6 million, netted 1.5, and I kept a 1.5 net minimum for 36 months. And I was like, my goal was to get it to $1 million. You've been doing this long enough. That's fucking hard, right? With all the uncontrollables that come with wholesale deals, and it's, dude, you can get your marketing dial, like you can control a lot, but there's a lot in wholesaling at scale that the problems just are fucking feel like they're magnified, right? Sellers backing out, title issues, all that. And I'm not trying to say wholesaling is not sexy, because you can make millions of dollars doing it. It's a great way to start buying really good deals, buying really good flips. But for me, I didn't want to do any of that. So I found a private buyer. I came out here to Arizona, Scottsdale. In 4 days, I was able to do podcasts, get proximity around people like Andy Elliott, Josh Snow, people where they're doing way bigger things than I was doing. Way bigger. In Raleigh, North Carolina, I felt like I didn't feel like, in my own head, I was the big swinging dick around all my friends. I was making the most money, my business was doing well.
Not good.
Dude,
Yeah.
I come out here to Arizona and I sit at a table, and I was by far the fucking small guy sitting at that table. And I was like, dude, I have to be at these tables. Like, I can't, when you start getting drunk off your own Kool-Aid, thinking you're the man, you're sipping the wrong sauce.
Exactly.
You're sipping the wrong sauce.
That's right.
So me and my wife moved to Raleigh to start wholesaling and start over. And in 36 months, We built a company. We were back to making millions. I was able to build a brand in the wholesaling community that grew very fast. And I knew after one trip out to Arizona, Cancun, you're living in a resort, and you're like, there's way more for me out of life. Well, I went from making fucking $8 million a year net. Our timeshare exit company was doing net $12 million, and me and my wife owned 67% of it. I lost all that. Told Shyla, give us a year and a half. As long as we're focused, dialed in, we can get it all back. Literally in a year and a half. We moved to Raleigh, North Carolina, where we knew nobody, literally nobody, and started building a business. And we got it up to making $1.5 million in the first 12 months, which I was like, holy fuck. The first time wasn't just luck. I really know what I'm doing, because I started questioning, can I build a company from scratch again? I really was. After 10 years of building a multi-8-figure business that almost sold to a private equity firm, when I lost it all, I questioned if I could do it again. It blew my fucking mind, dude. I'm fucking telling my wife, man, should I just go work for somebody?
Let me ask you this, because you have reinvented yourself fucking multiple times. You've openly said, dude, I was addicted to crack, OD'd, fucking fiend. I went through rehab.
Yes.
You bounced back.
Yep.
You got a job.
Yep.
You worked your way up. You got hammered again in a massive lawsuit. Reinvented yourself again. So when you're in those down periods,
yep,
did you always have that dog inside of you that was like, man, I can do this, and that good like self-talk to pull yourself into the, you know?
Great question, dude. So in the begin to pull myself out of the not dying from crack, 100% it was God. It was God. It couldn't have been more clear, dude. He showed me a clear path. You keep smoking dope, you're dying within days, or you get clean. It was so fucking clear to me, and I never believed in God ever. I was so confused about all of it. That day, I'm like, I get it, bro. I'm fucking listening to you loud and clear. And it was August 9th, 2009. Then I met my wife, Shyla. She believed in me like no one's ever believed in me since the second she met me. And to have that voice of reasoning of, like, she literally, I believe I could take over the world with her by my side. I shit you not, bro. It's fucking crazy as that sounds. Now, you take my wife away from me, and I'm fucked. And I believe that. First time I ever saw my wife, dude, she walked into this room, and she had this, like, a glow. Like, no bullshit. I'm not fucking around. It was the craziest thing. And I'm like, she walked into an NA meeting. I was in treatment. They brought me there on a fucking white bus. I was in an all-male facility 3 days before I was getting ready to get out of treatment. You don't think this was a sign from you don't think God placed her in that meeting? She walks in a room. I look at her, and there's this fucking glow. And she comes over to me. My self-esteem is as low as it's ever been. I'm in treatment, fucking 60 days off fucking smoking crack for years, barely gaining my weight back, and I have a normal conversation with a complete fucking stranger, which was a female. And dude, the day I got out of treatment, she was there to pick me up. I've been with her ever since that day. No coincidence. God fucking put her in my life.
Absolutely.
No coincidence, dude. That because he and all the shit we go through that lawsuit, dude. Shyla, my wife, should have left me multiple times. She's had every reason to fucking sign the papers, and she hasn't, dude. And God, I know today I don't question shit. It's God has put her in my life, and I'm like, dude, I used to treat her like a fucking employee and not a partner. I used to treat her like a fucking, not even a wife, maybe a fucking girlfriend you didn't like. Dude, I used to fucking try and beat her up with words. I would belittle her and this was all because I got out of treatment, right? I got in a relationship with her. I started making all this money. I never worked on myself, ever. Never worked on myself, dude. I started making money, and money turned into my new drug. Literally turned into my new drug. And I was the guy that was fucking rolling around in a Rolls Royce, dude. When I stopped at a fucking red light, I was like this, making sure somebody saw me. So I was trying to fill an emotional fucking void with materialistic shit. That, dude, I was a train wreck. I was a train ready to fucking crash. And when we were going through that exit with my last company, this is an answer to all of this. You asked, you know, did you have the dog in you? Dude, I had God, I had my wife, and everything else, dude, was irrelevant. God shows up when God needs to show up in my life. We were looking at getting a $54 million check in 2019, me and my wife, $54 million. I know without a shadow of a doubt, if I would have got that check, we would not be sitting here today. My wife would have left me. I would have more than likely went back to the dope house, and I would have OD'd on drugs. Because now I was going back as a fucking maniac with millions of dollars where I could ultimately have ended my life. And God did not let that deal go through on my company because he knew if I got my hands on that fucking money, it was lights out for me.
You can only connect the dots looking backwards. You can't see it at the time.
Yes, you can't.
No.
Because I played the victim for a year and a half about that fucking deal that got taken from me. But what happened is me and my wife left South Florida, went to Raleigh, North Carolina, focused on our marriage, focused on our relationship, focused on our fucking connection to a fucking higher power. My family right now is closer than we've ever fucking been in our life. And we've been together 15 years, me and my wife. And we moved to Scottsdale, Arizona as a team, literally as one unit with the same fucking mission. Because for a lot of times, dude, we're running after my goals, not mine and my wife's goals. And that's not good for your significant other to be chasing your fucking goal the whole time. And you're saying, fuck, you know, you say, oh, I got a good girl behind me. Dude, today, she's right behind me, dude. She's fucking way smarter than I am. Without her, fucking, this train fucking goes to the fucking off track real quick. But I've had my wife in my corner, God in my corner, dude, fucking family, where every day I wake up, Nick, I'm trying to get so far away from the fucking guy that treats my wife like shit, that'll fucking pick up a fucking crack pipe again, that'll fucking make bad decisions when no one's looking. Like, I try to live my life like there's a camera fucking on me at all times. And if my family had to fucking turn the TV on and watch what I was doing, fucking last night in the hotel room or yesterday, fucking last week when no one was, I would hope they would be okay watching that in a room full of fucking my family members.
I love that, man. What a fucking great answer.
Yeah.
I think that's got to wrap it up right there. So, dude, our man's done with the tattoo.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
Dude, that is the most beautiful tattoo ever. So one of the tattoos that mean the most, I got my son's name, my wife's name, my daughter's name. Bro, that is an amazing tattoo. Paul.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking
Paul,
slayed that one.
Crushed it, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That was a pleasure, man.
Appreciate it, man.
That's it. Appreciate you, bro. Let's. Hey, what's going on? I want to congratulate you for making it to the end. What does that mean? You're in the 1% club. No one else stuck around. You did. What I want you to do is subscribe. More importantly, comment below. That way I know exactly who you are and we can get to know one another. Every single week, by you turning your notifications on, you're not going to miss the sales training